One of the biggest problems that we face today in relationships is that we make each other responsible for the way that we feel. Somebody does or says something nice to us, then we feel good. We feel joyful, excited, loved, cared for. If the other person's behavior does not, however, fit into our standard, into our expectation, we suffer. Someone gives us a compliment and we let it get to our heads. Someone offends us, says something we don't like, and we let it get to our hearts. And this is an issue because we operate from a place that is not very useful or very effective. We remain forever victims of our circumstances. Maybe today is sunny and then I feel happy. Maybe tomorrow it's raining and there's thunders and I feel sad. And I think that the way that I feel is because of the weather. Even though the weather may not even know I exist, the weather has its own reasons for being. And same happens with every person we encounter. Friend, co-worker, client, lover. Everyone has a lot of baggage, a lot of history, and dealt with. And all this creates fertile soil for misunderstandings. And we tend to think that it's about us. Somebody's rude to me, so it's about that person not respecting me, and I have to make sure they respect me. I have to raise my voice and assert myself. When in reality, a person's hurtful behavior often has a lot to do with things that we don't even know, things we may not even be aware of, things they may not even be aware of. They're spilling their bitterness, their anger, their hate, their frustration on you, and they think that it's because of something that you did. And you feel bad and you think that it's because of what they said. And in reality, I think healing and peace in relationships can only happen when we're willing to own 100% of our experience. When we can look at our life and know that it is of our making. Know that to get insulted, I need to be an accomplice of my own suffering. To feel hurt, I need to let the person or the actions that were hurtful determine my state of being. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying that it is not useful if the way that we operate in the world comes from a place of being triggered constantly. Something makes you happy, another button makes you sad, another one makes you angry and frustrated, another one makes you grateful. And instead, what's the alternative? The alternative is that we realize that all our experience of life is generated from inside. Cliche, I know, but I think it's the only way to really come to terms with a feeling of peace, of lasting joy. Because if your peace can be shaken, pulled away, removed, hijacked by something outside of you, it is not a peace you can trust. If your level of groundedness, awareness, patience, love, gratitude depends on what somebody else is doing, saying, on how the world is playing out, you're bound to live a life that is fueled by accidents, misery, and some occasional joys. However, if you decide to take ownership for how you feel, for who you are, for the way that you show up in the world, regardless of how the world is showing up with you, you will find that there's always something to be grateful for. There's always something to be in awe of, even if that's the amount of pain that we experience. Recognize, wow, I'm more human than I remember. Wow, I'm very distant from this part of myself, from these emotions. We can let experiences that could have been destructive become edifying instead. We can invite suffering and see it as an expression of grace. It's in these moments that we become fully attuned to the fact that everything in life nourishes us if we're open to it. How to make that happen? It's a choice, it's a stand that we make. I am in charge of my life. My experience is my creation. So what do I want to create? What do you want to create? You know, you can be joyful because somebody treated you well. You can be miserable because somebody didn't do what you wanted them to do. Or you can choose to curate your own experience. I think ultimately this is what freedom is about, that no matter what happens around you, positive, challenging, supportive or unsupportive, you realize that you're at the wheel. And if it's a big wave, you can surf it and enjoy the thrill of it. And if it's a soft breeze and a calm ocean, you can also relax. But knowing that that feeling of home, that feeling of peace can only come from within. I hope it was useful to you, and that if you're going through a difficult time, some challenging moments with somebody that you love, something is not working out in the way that you expected it should, and why you take a look at how can you regain control, how can you liberate yourself from that moment, how can you come back to a place of wholeness, a place of beauty, and a place of truth, and a place that cannot be shaken by anything external to you. We have a beautiful day, and here we are in the coast of Colombia, between the jungle and the ocean, getting ready for ceremony to celebrate life and love. Take care.